If you feel stuck, like your life is on pause while everyone else keeps moving, don't look away. Because this feeling you're carrying, this sense that life is moving and you're getting left behind, it didn't come from nowhere. This is the weight of unrealized potential pressing down on you. You know you're capable of more, but you feel stuck. It's scrolling past other people's progress and feeling that quiet anger you don't talk about. It's knowing deep down that you were meant for more, but not knowing how to reach it. You're not lost. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're stuck between who you are and who you know you can become. And that space, that uncomfortable, suffocating space, that's where most people quit. That's where ambition fades into routine. But it doesn't have to end there. If you've been feeling trapped, restless, or numb, if you feel like something inside you is screaming for change while your life stays the same, this message is for you. Because what you're feeling right now isn't the end. It's the moment before everything changes. Let's get one thing clear. Feeling stuck does not mean something is wrong with you. It means something inside you is now awake. People who are truly lost don't feel tension. They don't feel urgency. They settle. But you feel uncomfortable because your current life no longer matches your potential. You feel stuck because you're standing at the edge of a version of yourself you haven't stepped into yet. And edges are uncomfortable places to stand. Because on one side is familiarity, on the other side is uncertainty. And the mind will always choose familiarity, even if it hurts. You feel stuck because you're doing the same things and expecting a different outcome. Same routines, same habits, same environment. You've changed internally, but your external life hasn't caught up yet. And that creates pressure. You know what you should be doing, but you haven't fully committed. You know you're capable of more, but comfort keeps pulling you back. And every day you delay, the gap between who you are and who you could be gets louder. That gap is what you're feeling. Not confusion, not failure. It's misalignment. Comfort doesn't feel dangerous. That's why it works. Comfort whispers instead of screams. It convinces you that tomorrow is safer, that waiting is responsible. But comfort is a cage. It looks harmless, but it keeps you exactly where you are. Comfort kills urgency, dulls ambition, and slowly lowers your standards until stagnation feels normal. And the longer you stay comfortable, the harder it becomes to leave. Not because you can't, but because you forget who you were before comfort took over. Most people who feel stuck aren't incapable. They're waiting. Waiting for motivation. Waiting for the right time. But the right time never comes. There is no moment where fear disappears and certainty replaces it. That's a lie the mind tells to avoid discomfort. Confidence doesn't come before action. Clarity doesn't come before movement. They come after. You don't think your way out of being stuck. You move your way out. And feeling stuck gets heavier when you start comparing. You look around and see people ahead, more progress, more success. And suddenly your own journey feels small. But comparison is a poison. You're comparing your private struggle to someone else's public moment. You don't see their early mornings. You don't see their failures. You don't see how long they felt stuck too. You only see the result. And that illusion convinces you that you're behind. But you're not behind. You're just early in your process. And comparison doesn't push you forward. It pulls you out of alignment. Don't compare your chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 10. Here's the truth most people miss. Feeling stuck is a signal. It's your mind and body telling you that something needs to change. Not tomorrow, now. You can't evolve without discomfort. You can't level up without letting something go. And the reason you feel pressure is because you're holding on to a version of your life that no longer fits. Growth requires release. Old habits, old routines, old identities. You can't move forward while clinging to what feels safe. Stuck is a mental loop, and loops are broken by action. Not massive action, not perfect action, just movement. One hard decision, one honest commitment. Momentum doesn't start big, it starts fragile, it starts small, and most people never protect it long enough for it to grow. They overthink, they hesitate, they stop. But the first move changes everything. Because once you move, you remind yourself that you're not trapped. You were just paused. But to make progress, you have to stop waiting for motivation and move. Motivation won't save you. Inspiration fades. Discipline is what carries you out. Discipline is choosing action when emotion tells you to stay still. Discipline is showing up when progress isn't visible. Discipline is keeping promises to yourself when no one is watching. And every disciplined action, no matter how small, weakens the feeling of being stuck. You don't need the full plan. You don't need certainty. You just need direction. Most people stay stuck because they demand clarity before commitment. But clarity comes from commitment. You see the next step by taking the one in front of you. Stop asking, "What if I fail?" Ask, "What happens if I stay here?" Because staying stuck is the only guaranteed loss. This phase will not last forever, but only if you act. Stuck becomes permanent when you normalize it. When you tell yourself this is just how life is, it's not. This is a season of pressure because pressure creates change. You're not breaking, you're preparing. And preparation is uncomfortable. There is a version of you on the other side of this moment. Stronger, more disciplined, more aligned. That version exists because you chose to move when it was uncomfortable. That version doesn't regret trying. They regret waiting. And they're watching you right now. Waiting to see if you'll step forward or stay where you are. If you feel stuck, don't see it as a weakness. See it as a warning. A warning that staying still is costing you more than moving ever will. You don't need confidence first. You need courage. Courage to let go of comfort. Courage to choose growth over familiarity. You are not stuck. You are standing at the edge of change. And the only thing separating you from the life you want is the decision to move. So make it and watch your life change.